I have struggled with my weight my entire life. I kid you not. I had a quiet head within about 2.5 to 3 hours of injecting the medication. So, after a lot of thought and contemplation, I've decided to document this journey that I'm going on. November 13th, I started Zepbound. Now, if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said, heck no, I'm not taking this medication. There's too many side effects, too many unknowns. I can do this naturally. I gave myself all the reasons because I've always struggled with my weight. I decided to document this for a couple of reasons. One being, I have struggled with my weight my entire life. I have tried diets, exercise. I've tried a lot of different things. Have I dropped weight? Yeah, a little bit, 20 pounds, I've switched diets, like I said. I'm currently vegan, whole food, plant-based. There's always this one obstacle. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. And that's okay either way. But food noise is huge for me. And if you're not familiar with what food noise is, so let me back up a little bit here. So I would say, 2021, I was diagnosed with ADHD. And I also at the same time was having some binge eating. So they put me on some Vyvanse to help with that. And, it worked decently. It worked good. I did lose some weight. And I was very focused. So those things were amazing. However, shortly within 6 months of being on the medication, my blood pressure was up too high and it was just becoming an issue. So I just stopped taking it. I said, no, I'm not going to do this. 2 years ago, I became vegan again and whole food plant-based and saw some weight loss, but I wasn't satisfied. So I went to a nutritionist and she was amazing. It was basically nutritional therapy is what it is. So we would talk about not only nutrients and things like that, but we would talk about, internal cues, things that work best for me and, like how do I work as a person? So they kind of developed a plan for ways to help me to lose weight. And it worked, lost 20 pounds. The issue that I've always struggled with is food noise to this. And I guess this is where my change of thought came into going from not ever wanting to take a medication like this to going, yeah, let's try this. I very much feel like, this type of, I guess, eating disorder that I have, it's like I have this internal dialogue about food 24/7. So I can get up in the morning and the first thing I'm thinking about is what I'm going to eat for breakfast, what I'm going to eat for lunch, what I'm going to eat for dinner, and what I'm going to make for the rest of the week. So this stuff is like constantly on my mind all the time. And then not only that, not is it only on my mind all the time, but it's a constant like nagging, like this itch you can't scratch. Now I have a history of addiction, so I do compare it to that in a way. I compare it to addiction and I compare it to mental illness. Like I think it has both components. Of course it has both components. But the biggest thing for me is that I'm on day four of Zepbound. I took it Thursday, November 13th, took my first dose, 2.5 milligrams. And I kid you not even making this up. I had a quiet head within about 2.5 to 3 hours of injecting the medication. I was shocked. And if you've never experienced food noise, it doesn't stop. There's no quiet. I mean, maybe there are for some people, but for me, there's no quiet time. I could get up to go to the bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I hear this whisper in the back of my head, you need to eat some fries. I'm just trying to kind of paint you a picture of what's been going on. I have tried diligently over the years to lose weight, to modify my diet, to not be lazy, to not be full of excuses. I honestly thought that taking a GLP-1 would be the easy way out, or it would be not the easy way out, it would be the lazy way out. I don't think that, because as I sit here day 4 and I go, I don't have the narration in my head anymore. It's gone. I haven't snacked in 4 days. I haven't overeaten in 4 days. I haven't really thought about food at all, except like, I probably should eat. And I thought, like, my God, is this how normal weight people function? Because I'll tell you what, as I was waiting for my prior auth to come in from the doctor's office so I could get this medication, because I can't afford it without the insurance company, and I met, all the criteria for it, I didn't realize that food noise was controlling me. Like, it maybe it sounds ridiculous, maybe it sounds dramatic, but it literally was. And I compare it to this. I have a very close loved one who deals with schizophrenia, and they hear and see things that other people don't. Now, I know it's not the same, but there are some similarities. Similarities being that, I would have this voice, this itch, this nagging, this whatever you want to call it inside of me that would constantly force me to eat. And so what was happening was I felt I had no control over this. It doesn't go away. Like, even if you are eating the healthiest food in the world, because I've done that. I've done like super strict whole food, plant-based, no sugar, no oil, none of that. That narration in your head doesn't go away. Yeah, you feel better. Yeah, you drop some weight. But it eventually you cave to it, because it is a constant itch. It's a constant nagging. It's the same type of nagging I had when I was addicted to opioids. So what was happening is I would be at work, and my work day, obviously is structured around breaks and lunches. And so those are the times that I would eat my arm workout in the morning, and I would eat lunch. And then right after I'd log off, I'd eat dinner, and then it wouldn't stop. I'm full. But the nagging was, you need to eat. And I see visuals of food, and I would just constantly hear that you can eat this, you should eat this, you need to eat this, you're going to feel better, And so you're hearing all this stuff. And so I got so frustrated with it, I couldn't deal with it anymore, that I would literally log off of work, eat a normal size meal, and I would sleep, lay in my bed. And I would try to just sleep until the next meal or the next time I had something to do, because it was controlling me. It was out of control. People talk about, you have to have more self-control and have to have willpower. Would you tell that to somebody with schizophrenia? Because I feel like that they're similar. They're not the same. They're similar in the fact that I don't have control over that. But what I do notice is that the voice, the nagging, the itching was gone. I haven't heard it. I feel normal. I feel like a functional human. Like, I feel like my depression is lifted. And I know that they're studying the GLP-1s for like fibromyalgia and chronic pain, because I'm telling you what, I don't have a lot of pain right now either. It's just mind-boggling and amazing all at the same time. And a little frustrating, because it's like, man, I've had this whole time, and all it took was this medication to get rid of it. Like, I'm not even joking. Day 4, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling clear. I went photograph. My husband and I were amateur photographers. We went to a city early this morning, just to, get some photography in this morning. And I was able to get up and down off the cement on the ground with relatively little issue. Whereas like a week before, I was grunting and groaning and felt like I was wearing like a cloak of pain. Like, literally, like, I feel like I'm wearing the suit that is just pain, constantly achy, constantly feeling, sciatica, constantly just feeling yucky. And so I realized that there really isn't much weight loss happening yet, but this medication is doing other things that kind of set you up for success. And so if you're looking for something to set you up for success, and you qualify for this medication, I say go for it. I waited too long to do something like this when I could have been doing it, years ago. So if you've never heard of food noise, or if it's something you struggle with, maybe this is something to look into, because I'll tell you what, I know I keep saying this, but day 4, I just can't, I'm still skeptical. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, because at this point I've had minimal side effects. The first 2 days it wasn't so great. I was nauseous, a little dizzy, felt bleh. But as I'm learning pretty quickly how to eat on this stuff, and you can overeat if you want to, but you will be in a world of discomfort, a world of hurt. So for me, it was like I would notice really quickly, like, oh, I'm full. And it would be, I'm done. I can't eat anymore. And the first couple days, like I said, were pretty difficult with side effects. But yesterday I woke up and I was like, I feel pretty good. I had more energy. I felt like getting up and doing stuff. I wasn't, again, I feel like I have all this free time now because there isn't that constant voice going, eat, eat, eat. And I'm trying to find ways to, not think about it or not listen to it or, call myself 100 different awful names because for a long time I believed what people said when they said, oh, you're just lazy. Oh, you're just not trying hard enough. Oh, it's your choices. Oh, if you really wanted this, you'd do it. I've wanted this for a long time, and I've tried all the ways that I know how. Am I perfect? No. But this is the first time I actually have hope. Because a week ago, I felt like I just didn't want to go on, not living this way. And to me, it's astonishing. It's just the removal of that voice, that itch, that nag to eat. That's what for me, that's what this is going to really help. And of course, the feeling of being full and satiated, that of course helps too. And that's kind of why I wanted to document my journey, because I didn't start documenting anything at all. So I thought this would be kind of cool to go ahead and do. So if you're interested in hanging around and watching my journey, seeing where this goes, like and subscribe. The hair is just gonna do whatever it's gonna do. There's hair all over this thing. It doesn't matter what I do to it, it just doesn't come off.